Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this one? I fucking hope so, because this movie's fucking amazing. Hey everybody, Sebastian again here. Very hungover. Did quite a lot of bit of drinking last night. And also, another thing that happened last night, X-Men Days of fucking Future Past. Holy shit. Finally. Fucking finally. First movie I've seen this summer that's like, yes, yes, yes. This movie's just yes all around. All around. Man, this was good. This was really, really good. Fucking this is basically a sequel to First Class, to be quite honest. If you're like a fan of First Class, then this your boat has arrived because all the best things that First Class did, it's basically that plus more. Bryan Singer coming back to X Men didn't fuck it up. Didn't like he whatever he saw in First Class, he got totally behind it and just ran with it, and he did it fucking beautifully. Oh man, this is a fucking comic book movie. This is a fucking comic book movie. And just everything, just like the acting, the scenes, the action, the fucking effects, of course, but because you know the X Men that we know, the X Men from the present, Hugh Jackman, Halle Berry, Patrick Stewart, like these guys have been in these roles for a while, so they got that shit down to a T. And on top of that, we get the crew from First Class, the younger versions of these mutants. They're on fucking point. Everybody's on point. Everybody is on point on this, and it's just fucking great, man. I don't think I have a single bad thing to say about it, other than like little nitpicks, because comic book geek, I am going to nitpick. Uh, but yeah, but overall, it's close, very close to flawless. Days of Future Past, comic book fans, if you read the comic, we stray a little bit from the storyline, but all the important beats are there. All the major, most of the sorry, I got a text. This is I'm gonna download fucking something. Something has to be better than WhatsApp because this is just a fucking annoying nightmare. Whatever, fuck you. Um, the story of the comic is the framework is there, but obviously a few little things have been changed. Characters that we just do not have the runtime to get into their backstories. Those characters are just gone. But you get the sense. The Days of Future Past, that comic was very. You could when you read it, you can taste the desperation. It really creates a sense of like, holy shit, this is the end. We this is the end. This is the mutant holocaust, and that you don't get that as much because the majority of the runtime we spent in the past, but yeah, like it's powerfully cohesive in the sense of we need to stop this fighting and we need to band together because there is some horrific shit that's gonna happen to us all. The movie concerns the efforts of the X-Men in the future. We open in New York and it's like apocalypse town. Fucking everything's destroyed. We see the mutant concentration camps. That all the mutants, they have the collars. They have the inhibitor things that limit their powers. All of that, and also human sympathizers are also in the camps. And in all of this is just where are our guys? Where are the X Men? Where are the heroes? The X Men are cornered like fucking rats. It is desperate. This is Terminator 2 humanity desperate. But yeah, the crew in the future, the X Men of the future are the team is rounded up by Iceman, Kitty, Blink. Blink is awesome. Warpath, who somebody needs to. I'm not familiar with Warpath a lot. Uh, don't know what his fucking mutation is. Somebody, please give me some feedback as to what Warpath is, because I feel like he wasn't done very well. But Warpath is there. Sunspot, um, and of course Storm and Wolverine and Professor Xavier and Magneto. There's no tiff with Magneto in this one because they know the stakes are incredibly high. The mutants are being killed methodically, like one by one, by the Sentinels. These are the Sentinels of the future, which they've had to, humans have had time to perfect them and such. And these fucking things are scary. They're Sentinels, but they're also a little bit like super adaptoids because they, through our study of mutant DNA, these fucking Sentinels can just adapt to whatever force you use against them. They can immediately process it and just defend against it. Ice, they'll turn to ice. Iceman, you're fucked. Sunspot, what you're gonna set it on fire? It's gonna turn into fire, and it'll just it's awesome. Like you can't defeat them. They're unfucking stoppable. Colossus does his metal thing turns into metal, fucks Colossus' shit up, and yeah, this is it is the end of the world for mutant kind. Somebody needs to do something. We need to figure out a way to solve this. Professor X hooks up with like his former students, and they devise the plan. Kitty Pryde. This is one of the little nitpicks I was talking about. Kitty Pryde is the time travel person in this movie, for some reason. Kitty Pryde, if you're not familiar with the comics or you don't remember from the other movies, Kitty Pryde, she can phase through matter, right? That's her power. She can just walk through anything. But for whatever reason, in the future, she has the power to send people's consciousness back in time. She can do it for like a day or like 3 days, maybe a month. But the plan that Professor X and Magneto have devised is we need to send somebody back to 1973. Because in 1973 is where the beginnings of this apocalypse happen. They eventually land on Wolverine because she says that sending people back in time with her mind causes a lot of damage to the brain. And if you send someone back decades, that'll probably kill the person. But Wolverine can do it because Wolverine's brain regenerates as it's being destroyed. So Wolverine is the one that they have to send back. Kitty does the little time hand thing. I'm going to call it time hands. She does the time hands, and Wolverine wakes up in 1973 in his younger body, which basically is Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman is fucking huge in this movie. First scene, when he's in the past, Hugh Jackman is naked. There's some Hugh Jackman ass for the ladies. And oh my, just veins everywhere. It's like whoa. Wolverine gets back. We can kind of see that he's involved in like crime. He's looking after like the boss's daughter, which I think is cool. They acknowledge Wolverine's criminal past. And yeah, so Wolverine's there, kills a couple of mobsters, just to show that, hey, I can still do this. And just sets about with the plan, which is basically to contact the younger Xavier and the younger Magneto, because we need to find Mystique. Mystique is the linchpin for this fucking disaster, because Mystique in the 70s, she's still, very guerrilla style after the events of First Class. Mystique is the one who's going to sort of unleash this, because Mystique is going to kill Bolivar Trask, which is the creator of the Sentinels. Bolivar Trask, Peter Dinklage did a really awesome job. I think the movie could have used a little bit more Dinklage, because he's an amazing actor. And I don't even watch Game of Thrones. But yeah, He was great, and his assassination is what's going to show the world that the mutants are indeed a threat, and that his Sentinel program should be adopted as a defense against the mutants. Also, Mystique, having been caught after killing Trask, they study her genetics, and her power is basically what allows the Sentinels of the future to like adapt and like kind of like defend against every single attack a mutant can possibly throw at it. So Mystique is the linchpin, and they need to set about finding Mystique. So Wolverine gets to it, finds Xavier. Xavier has turned into like Xavier can walk in this one, and it's because he sort of lives in the mansion with Beast, and Beast has developed a serum that controls his mutations, so he's not all blue and furry the whole time. And also, if you tweak it a little bit, it kind of helps Xavier walk, but at the cost of his powers. It kind of silences his telepathy, but he can walk. So and Charles Xavier is very broken, so he willingly chose walking to having to do all this mental shit. So fucking Wolverine shows up, starts dropping knowledge, saying he's from the future. And yeah, naturally we get. I'm glad that we avoided the whole like, oh, we don't believe you. You're crazy. The future? No, we didn't. The movie didn't dwell too much on that, which I thought was nice. So he gets them to believe him, right? So they need to get Magneto, because Magneto is essential for this plan. Problem is, Magneto is being held in a concrete prison underneath the Pentagon. So, he's in prison because he killed JFK with the magic bullet, because the movie tries to explain the magic bullet as, well, if a master of magnetism is controlling the bullet, of course it's going to curve. So, yeah, that's how they explain JFK. So I need to get him out. How are they going to get him? For whatever reason, and another nitpick, it's never really explained, Wolverine knows Quicksilver in the future, even though we don't see any of that. So he suggests going to find Quicksilver in the past, in 1973, and he's like a 17-year-old kid. Now, man, I walked into this movie, and I was on the Quicksilver haterade bandwagon. Because he looks, all the pictures that we saw, he looks fucking retarded. He looks like Xenon, girl of the 21st century. But man, once you get past that silly ass fucking look that they gave him, Quicksilver's possibly the best character in this movie. This dude is fucking amazing, and the way they actualize his power, how he can just move so fast that everything else is in slow motion for this guy. They kind of play him like an ADD kid. The actor knocked it out of the park. The guy is a Kick-Ass friend from the movie Kick-Ass, which is, it's funny because Kick-Ass himself is playing Quicksilver in the Avengers 2. Oh man, that is so confusing, this like double Quicksilver thing, but whatever. So far, this Quicksilver that we got in Days of Future Past is fucking on it. And the scene where they break Magneto out, the way Quicksilver just deals with a room full of guys with guns is just beautiful. That's probably my favorite scene in the entire movie. And holy shit, like it's just fucking, it's just geek attacks of just like yeah, that scene is pretty cool. So we get Magneto out. Magneto joins the mission from the future, and the scenes that are between Professor X and Magneto, the younger versions, those scenes are really good because these two men are trying to reconcile after what happened in First Class. These two guys who have every reason to hate each other, and their reasons for hating each other, and how they get like these James McAvoy and fucking what's it called? Shit, Michael Fassbender. Man, I could watch these two motherfuckers for days. For days. That is probably the one of the greatest casting decisions I've seen in the last couple of years. Man, every scene they're together is just amazing. Wolverine also. This movie. This is Wolverine. This is Hugh Jackman has been doing this character for years, but this one, like this is fucking Wolverine. Uh, Beast is kind of like all right. It's kind of not overly interesting. When he's in beast form, though, I appreciated the makeup that they did to him. Kind of looks like the Wolfman, the old Universal Wolfman from the 30s. I found that cool. Um, so yeah, they get to it. They need to find Mystique. They know Logan knows that she's going to kill Trask at this post-Vietnam peace summit in France. So they're going to France. They manage to stop Mystique from killing Trask, but that doesn't halt the bad timeline because she loses blood, and they find that blood and they realize that they can use it to better the Sentinels. So technically, the future is still in peril. They kind of fucked it up in France. Uh, Man, Magneto's a bastard, man. Because Magneto, once he comes to believe all the events of the future, how these Sentinels are gonna rise up, he just decides to like, hey, let's get rid of the middleman. I'm gonna flat out kill Mystique. So, oh man, he shoots her. Then like, she's got a bullet embedded in her leg. Tries that. There's a scene where he's like, bringing her to him because he's got the bullet, so he can like pull her. And yeah, just straight ups and tries to kill Mystique. And holy fuck, it's really good. J Law is so good in this movie. She's not that well developed, but every scene she's in, I just fucking love it. Um, Also, like half naked Jennifer Lawrence, like doing a lot of leg work. Again, I can watch that shit for days. Um, so yeah, they kind of fuck shit up in France. This is all on TV, by the way. So back in the States, the president starts taking Trask a little bit more seriously and decides to implement the Sentinel program. So they've just made things worse. They gotta have a emo moment. Everybody's kind of like, oh, what are we gonna do now? Uh, Professor X needs to stop. Wolverine gets Professor X to stop injecting that shit that makes him walk so he can use his powers again because we need Cerebro now. That's the only way we're gonna find Mystique. So yeah, apparently Wolverine is Charles Xavier's anti-drug because apparently all it takes is one speech from Wolverine and boom, we're back. We're like, all right, I'm gonna kick this. There's a couple of scenes of fucking like Xavier just like seriously like tying off his arm and it's like, whoa, that's intense. But yeah, they realize that Mystique is going to try to kill Trask again, this time in Washington, because he's doing this big demonstration of the Sentinels. And while all this is happening, they get back on the mission. We have to go to DC. Magneto kind of fucked off. He's tracking Trask his own way, and manages a way to subvert the program. Because the thing about the Sentinels, they're made out of a space age polymer. They're not metal. So Magneto, because physically, if they're robots, Magneto should be able to just like handle that shit. But he can't. But he finds a way to by like covertly inserting metal inside the Sentinels. And by the time we get to DC, he has just taken over the Sentinel program, and now all the Sentinels are under his control. I don't know much about DC. I don't know what stadiums are there, but fucking rips a fucking stadium out of the ground and just like puts it around the White House. So that turns into just like this little battle arena where the Wolverine and Xavier and Beast are trying to stop Mystique, but then he shows up and just shit hits the fan. Uh, and yeah, this movie is really good in its angles on what the mutants are trying to do, how the humans are interacting with the mutants. There's a couple of nice little callbacks. Stryker is in this movie. He's like a young, really like just douchebag, like army sergeant or something. But we can slowly see in the movie Stryker, because he's surrounded by mutants constantly, and you can kind of, if you look at that actor, if I don't know who that actor is, playing young Stryker, but you can kind of see Stryker thinking, okay, I know something to deal with these mutants, and we know what he's gonna do later. Um, and yeah, everything gets resolved, of course. Like the whole attack on the White House, that's also on TV. There's a lot of like media. Everybody finds out what's going on through like TV, because it's the '70s and shit. Um, and yeah, that's all on the attack is all it broadcast all over the world. Um, Xavier gets into Mystique's mind and tries to tell her, "What are you doing, man? You can't. This is ultimately going to hurt us. You can't do this." Mystique straight up beats the shit out of Magneto. So Magneto's out, and she has that moment where she's just like pointing the gun at Trask and doesn't pull the trigger. And that kind of shows the humans that all these mutants, like, fine, they can do this shit that we can have no defense against, but we can coexist. They have mercy. This we don't need to resort to exterminating them. So yeah, they succeed, and they go back when Logan wakes up back in the future. The world is fixed. There's no Holocaust. We're back at the mansion. Everybody's alive. And yeah, nice, sweet ending. Done. Jean Grey shows up. Cyclops shows up. Because apparently also this bad timeline includes what happened in The Last Stand. So they just fucking, yeah. Apparently Scott's not dead. Jean's not dead. Everything's going to be alright, guys. Guys, everything is going to be alright. So yeah. Oh, wow. This movie is really, really fucking good. Best things that like kind of I noticed was this movie's really the edge is way harder here. There's a lot of cursing in the movie, which for some reason I don't know why. For some reason, made it more enjoyable to me. There's a callback to that scene in First Class, that Wolverine cameo where he just tells Magneto and Xavier to like fuck off. There's a callback to that scene. Little details. We see a lot of Easter eggs, a lot of mutants here and there. The scene where Quicksilver, there's a scene that's Quicksilver and Magneto in an elevator, and Quicksilver, mentions the fact that, oh, you can control metal, huh? My mom used to know a guy that could do that, and Magneto kind of goes like, well, because yeah, Magneto's his dad. I like that the little nod to the fans. But holy shit, this is a pretty dark movie, man. Like all the future stuff, they're just the body count on this. They kill off a lot of people. They kill fucking Iceman bites it really fucking hard. Every blink, Storm dies. A lot of people get fucking killed. They rip Colossus in two in one part. It's like, whoa! I think the reason they got away with it, though, is because, in fact, I saw this movie with a couple of friends. All of these movies I'm seeing with a couple of friends. I was talking outside the theater that my friend was telling me that the reason it was so violent is because there's no blood. In all of this, there's no blood because, Colossus is made of metal. Iceman is in ice form when he bites it. But that doesn't change the fact that you're like, oh, shit. Yeah. It's pretty fucking dark. Um, the acting is so good in this, so fucking good. James McAvoy is slowly becoming one of my favorite actors, because not only is he like kicking this Charles Xavier role, like he just kicks his ass. He's got this character down. Just another shit that I've seen. I might even liked him. I liked him in Wanted, even though I thought that movie was a piece of shit. Um, Also, Filth, which I haven't seen. Well, I have seen, not officially because I saw it illegally, which I think is the only way because that movie's not coming here. McAvoy is so fucking on it in Filth, and Michael Fassbender. I'm a little bit gay for Michael Fassbender, so everything about him is just like, yes, more of that, please. Quicksilver was also fucking great. Quicksilver, every scene he's in is just a breath of fresh air. Just man, yeah, bring this fucking shit. Really funny. And again, his one centerpiece scene where he just kicks a room full of guys' ass. That scene is so beautifully shot. He's not in the movie for too long, which is it's kind of sad. But yeah, man, everything about this fucking thing is just awesome. The little problems are like I said, they're pretty minor. It's just I'm a fucking geek for this shit, so I'm gonna fucking nitpick the fuck out of it. Kitty Pryde with the time shit. I get why they did it. We can't explain the character that actually does the time traveling in the comic book. There's no way to like explain the backstory to this character, so I can understand like why they took a little shortcut. But come on, man, just tell me how she can do that, because Kitty Pryde cannot do that. Also, couple of little other things like Xavier's alive. Like in the future, it's Patrick Stewart, and in the movie they kind of show that what happened in The Last Stand is canon, and he fucking died in that movie. So like not just died, he got turned to dust. So why is he here? It's a mess. Like the timeline of the X-Men movies is really a fucking challenge to decipher what happened, what didn't happen. So yeah, little stuff like that bugs me. But other than that, not a whole lot. This movie is really fucking good. My friends were saying that they think it's like the best Marvel movie to come out. I don't know if I can get behind that, because to me, I'm so all about the Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier is like, for me, the best Marvel movie I've seen so far. Not to say that the other ones are bad, but the one that I went like, okay, this is a fucking movie. Winter Soldier, I still think does it for me. But X-Men wise, I think First Class, this, and X2 are the best that we've gotten out of this whole movie series. Which, by the way, there's 7 X-Men movies, man. There's 7 X-Men movies. This is, and who'd have thought? Because X-Men, I've never been like the hugest X-Men fan. Like I like it, but I'm not like I'm not a super fanboy with X-Men. But holy shit, this is like the longest running superhero series, period. Because there's more X-Men movies than there are Batman movies, Spider-Man movies, and without reboots. Because there's a couple of Spider-Man movies, but that's including like a reboot series. So it's just like, wow, man, like the staying power is really good. I guess because it's a good metaphor. X-Men, the metaphor for it, like about just like being different than other people and getting over that. That resonates with people. So I guess that's why it's still it endures for so long. Yeah, it's a very very well made movie. What else can I fucking say? I mean, fucking Magneto, he walks the line very well between guy who's doing what he believes is right, and just all around asshole fucking douchebag. Because Magneto. I think that's what I like about the character. Because Magneto being a fucking Holocaust survivor, like World War II Holocaust, not mutant Holocaust. He's very aware that he can easily become the thing that he hated when he was a kid. He can become a tyrant. He can become Hitler. He has a couple of times in the comics. And you can kind of see that struggle in him in the movies, both in First Class and this one, where he can do good, but doing bad just comes way easier to him. And I think that's what's cool about the character, because he's a guy in the end who really can't reconcile these two sides of himself. What else can I talk about? The future, the X-Men in the future. Blink, Blink is a standout X-Men, because that is an awesome fucking power. She's basically a Portal. Like, if you played Portal, that's what Blink does. She can just open gates to like boop, whoop, boop, whatever. Doesn't matter. She's really good. Doesn't have enough screen time. None of the future X-Men have enough screen time. Bishop is there, kind of like for no reason. Bishop doesn't do much. His power is fucking awesome though. Like when when he takes Sunspot's power and just like filters it through into the gun. That the first time that happened, it's like, oh shit, it's pretty awesome. Also, what else in the fucking the scenes between young Magneto and Wolverine are just fucking amazing, because Wolverine has been fighting Magneto for a while, and just seeing him young. In fact, there's a cool scene where he's looking at young Magneto, and they're like, he just acknowledges that, you know what, you and me, we're a lot alike, a lot alike. Also, you're gonna pick that shit up. Wolverine is fucking on it in this movie, and yeah, he swears a lot. There's a lot of fucking shit bombs in this movie. There's like shit, bullshit. Wolverine just doesn't give a fuck. It's really cool. Overall, like, I think it's a little bit better than First Class. This might be the best X-Men movie that we've seen so far. So down for more X-Men movies, and there's gonna be, because at the end credits, which by the way, this doesn't do a mid credits scene. If you want to see the goodie, you have to sit through the entire fucking credits, like key grips, all of that. You get to see all the people that worked into this movie. It's nice. They deserve the credit. You deserve to know who the second production assistant was. But man, after the credits, me and my friend, we were watching it. It starts and all you see is desert. So me and him, we're immediately like, oh shit. And it's a really short scene, but you see this desert and you just see this guy standing there, and there's a sea of people just worshiping. We can see that this is ancient Egypt, and this motherfucker is just building a pyramid like with his mind. And the camera pans around, and it's this fucking dude with gray skin and blue lips, and it's like, oh fuck, here we go. And then when you see his face, there's 4 horsemen, like slightly like walking, like galloping towards him. So yeah, fucking apocalypse is coming, and that shit is gonna be awesome. I don't know if Singer's gonna be behind it. I think he is. I think Singer got his X taste back, so I think he's gonna stick around. And that X-Men Apocalypse movie, that shit is gonna own. Really hope it owns. And yeah, I think these characters have become kind of like, for a lot of people, these characters are the staple of what Marvel movies are at. And I don't know if you guys saw Hugh Jackman kind of went on record the other day that he really wants this like Marvel divorce. property divorce to stop because, like, Fox owns X-Men and Sony owns Spider-Man, so they can't be part of like the Marvel Studios movies, which are like Avengers and Captain America and Iron Man, and it is kind of sad because these characters all exist in the same universe. Uh, if you've ever picked up an X-Men comic, you know that Reed Richards shows up constantly. Fucking Daredevil shows up constantly. Like these characters, they all live together in the same fucking world. So if for whatever reason, like this sort of property division stops, if if the fucking X-Men are in the same movie with like Tony Stark and the rest of the Avengers, that shit is gonna a that shit is gonna make a fulfilling amount of fucking money, and two, like where do you go from that if you're a fucking Marvel fan? Like that's just it. That's all. That's all we want. That's all we fucking want. We want to see the fucking X jet flying, and then Iron Man passes it, and as it lands, fucking Peter Parker swings by and just lands and says something like, "What took you guys so long?" That shit would be fucking amazing. But we don't live in that world yet, so I guess we'll have to be patient. Keep watching the movie. I'm gonna keep watching the movies, and maybe it'll happen. But so far, X-Men is doing very well by itself. This movie's fucking amazing. And yeah, finally, for fuck's sake, because fucking Spider-Man blew it for me. Godzilla blew it for me. This is the first movie I've seen this summer where I'm like fucking, all right, now we're fucking talking. So, yeah, if you get a chance, go see this fucking thing immediately because it's fucking amazing. Comic-Con is happening today. If you're a Comic-Con, after you get out, I think going to see this movie would be the wisest course of action, depending on your sensibilities. And yeah, give it a shot because it's fucking amazing. I don't know which. I read fucking Guardians of the Galaxy is coming out in August. So that's like at the end of the summer. So I don't know what else is gonna come in between that piques my interest. But whatever it is, like I'm gonna do another one of these. I'm gonna be fucking hungover when I do it. And yeah, I hope you guys look at it and laugh at me because that's kind of the whole point of this whole thing. So yeah, I have such a big fucking headache right now. I'm gonna get some precious water, and I don't know. Maybe my day will go a little bit better. I'm really entertaining the idea of seeing this shit again, like today. But until I do that, this is it for now. As always, I'm Sebastian, and drink and watch movies. It's kind of fun. I'll see you guys later.